with David Haye, who's here to support George Groves, who's just announced he's fighting Glen Johnson in December. And that, sir, is a fight, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You know, Glen Johnson's always there to the bitter end. He pushes fighters young and old to the wire. You know, even Carl Froch fought a little while ago, and one of the judges in that fight had Glen Johnson and Carl Froch even had it a draw. You know, everybody knows how great Carl Froch is, and this guy is pushing guys like Carl Froch to close 12-round decisions. So you cannot write this guy off.
And he's been around forever, hasn't he? George is a top fighter, but you can't buy experience, can you?
No, you can't. That's what we're trying to do now with fights like this against Glen Johnson. You know, I know Glen Johnson personally. You know, his coach. I've trained with him before in Miami. And the guy's no joke. The guy's a serious guy. Glen Johnson wouldn't take this fight if he didn't truly believe he could win it. And Glen Johnson, I know he doesn't drink, smoke. He's a very healthy guy. You know, I think that his health is testament to how many years he's boxed at the top level. And I expect a tough fight for George. You know, George can't expect to go out there and just blast this guy out. It ain't going to work like that. You know, this Glen Johnson's going to be there in his face for 12 rounds. But I'm very confident that when George is on point, when he's healthy, he can win this fight, in spectacular fashion.
Well, he's done everything right so far, and you've been there for him pretty much from day one. Yeah. So apart from your own career, you've been a bit of a mentor for George. So far, so good.
Yeah, without a doubt, he's done exactly what he's been asked. You know, he's had the fight against James again. You know, he was the underdog in that fight, but he came up trumps there. You know, did that at O2 Arena, packed out house, and you know, he's the real deal. You know, I think in the next few fights, he'll be getting his world title shot, and he won't be actually just challenging for it. He'll be winning it.
Now, what about you? It's suddenly got quite exciting, even from a British point of view. On the heavyweight scene, there's your good self. Mr. Price dispatched Mr. Harrison fairly convincingly. What were your thoughts about that?
I thought it was great. I thought the fight was clean and clinical, and anybody who has aspirations to become a heavyweight champion of the world need to deal with opponents like an Audley Harrison in that fashion. Get in there, get the job done, and get out. You know, he didn't take any punishment in the process. You know, he did it quicker than I did. I beat Audley in 3 rounds a couple of years ago, and he made a statement by doing it in 1 round, which is exactly what he should have done if he wants to be at that level. And I think it's time for him to start knocking on that European door. At least do that European door, get that European title, and start getting those world-ranked opponents. And then you can start. I believe he can win a world title. I'm pretty sure of that, no doubt. He's got all the attributes. He's big enough. He's quick enough. He has everything together. I've known David Price for years. I used to promote David Price. I've sparred with him time and time again, and he's the real deal.
Well, he liked the fight the Klitschkos. They're not going to go on forever, those boys, especially Vitali.
I think his best shot probably against Vladimir. Vladimir seems like he's got a lot more longevity than Vitali. I don't think Vitali's going to have too many more fights. So I think probably in a couple of 2.5, 3 years maybe, Vladimir will. David Price may get himself into a mandatory position. I don't think Vladimir would fight someone like David Price on a voluntary. I think he'll wait until David Price sort of works his way into that position, because David Price, I think, will be a hard night's work for Vladimir.
Now, what about you? You're looking lean, you're looking fit, you're looking muscular. You dispatched Chisora very, very impressively not too long ago. That can't be it, can it? Surely.
Maybe, yeah. It could be. Finished on a high. That was a good night in Upton Park. So if it is the end, then I finished on a high. But I've got my fingers crossed, and sort of quietly confident that Vitali will want that big mega fight that he's never had, and he'll give me a call. So sometime next year, whether I get that call from Vitali that he wants that big showdown, then I'll be ready to go when he is.
It's pretty much a Klitschko or nobody. You're not interested in Price or anybody else now?
I'm not interested in anyone else other than a Klitschko. But I don't think Vladimir will give me a rematch unless I work my way up to a manager position. So he doesn't have to fight me. I'd say Vitali said publicly that he wanted to not only beat me but knock me out. So I'll give him his opportunity.
How long can you wait?
I can wait whenever. I'm not going.
You're younger than him.
I'm a lot younger than him. The longer he leaves it, the worse his chances are. So if I was him, I'd get it done soon.
All right, David. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Cheers.